back to RTV at realtourvision.com. My name is Chad, and in this video, we're going to be going over automations and how to create them. Now, automations can be used for a variety of things that can save you a lot of time and that extra manual labor you would have had to have done otherwise. So let's go ahead and create one to get you an idea of just what it can do. So I'm going to create an automation for when someone fills out a form, let's say on our website, that when we receive that, it's going to automatically send them an email and add a tag to their contact. So let's give that a shot. Right now, I am in an automation, and I'm going to go create workflow. And we're going to do start from scratch. You can try the build using AI, but there is extra charges when you do use AI services, so keep that in mind. So when it loads right here, you can see where it's prompting you, hey, do you want to use the AI? Right at the top, you have your title. Just clicking here, you can update that right now. I'll just give it test as the name. And then down below here, we need to add a trigger. Now a trigger is what kicks off the automation in the first place. And so for us, it's going to be when a user fills out a form. So we're going to go ahead and click this, and we're going to find this trigger type. So there's a whole list right here. You can scroll through and see if you can find it, or you can try to search for it by name. So I'm just going to type form. All right, form submitted. So I'm going to click this, and now it's going to give us these options right here. You can see where it's kind of saying the additional options right here as far as like a contact, but we can also give it a form name, form submitted, test, and then we add a filter. And the filter is form is, so you're saying, okay, what's the filter? I need to point it to the form that needs to trigger this. So you could have multiple forms on your website, maybe one's for help or support, or perhaps trying to schedule something or getting further information. So you could have multiple forms, so you have to tell it which form it's going to be. And for us, it's going to be our contact us form. I'm going to click that, click away, and hit save trigger. Now, from there, we have to tell it what to do after it sees this. So, okay, the contact us form was submitted. Now what do I do? So we could say, all right, after it's submitted, now we want to send that contact an email. But maybe we don't want to send it right away. Maybe we want to wait a couple minutes. So we're going to type wait and click this. And from here, you have different options of how to wait. For this example, we're going to say until a, actually, we're going to say for a set period of time. All right, let's say, I don't know, 2 minutes. And right here, it's already on the units of minutes. You can see the seconds, minutes, hours, days. Actually, I'm going to say 2 seconds since we're doing this on the fly here. Now we're going to hit save action. All right, so after we've waited 2 seconds, now we want it to send the email. So we're going to say email. All right, here, communication, send email, click this. It's going to load up some options and additional information here where you can tag that in. We're going to select a pre-existing template, but if you wanted to just type out a whole template right here to send, you can do that. You don't have to go inside of the CRM and make a custom template. You could just type one out right inside of here. But for this, we're going to say select existing template, and I'm going to select this automation test. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring in a preview of what that looks like. There's also the ability to sync edits to template. I do recommend turning this on because what will happen is if you ever make changes to the template, it will automatically update the template inside of the automation. Because when you sync this, it's basically capturing a snapshot of this template. So if you made changes in the primary template and you didn't have this on, that does not mean it'll update the snapshot version inside of this automation. So after we've selected that, we can give it a subject. So test email, that's what I'm just going to call it for now. And the from name and from email are not required. Those can be automatically generated or filled in. But we'll say from Chad Test, and the email can be from Chad plus test at realtourvision.com. So we'll give it that and hit save action. Okay, so now we have all right, this form was submitted, wait 2 seconds, and then send this email. But maybe from there, because this form was submitted, we want to now add a tag to this contact, because when someone submits a form, if this user's email doesn't already exist inside of your CRM, it will automatically create a contact for them using that information. Now, to go with that, if they already exist in your CRM and they fill out the form, it will update their contact with any changes uh, in their own contact in the CRM. So that's something to be mindful of in case, let's say, there is a first name, last name box in the form and the user decides to just put their first name and a first initial for their last name. It will update their contact to remove their last name, and it will put that initial there because it assumes they know how to type in their last name. So just keep that in mind when you're creating your form fields. But for this, we're going to go ahead and select tag. All right, add contact tag. And we're going to say, okay, well, we'll call this one new client. Actually, we'll call it prospect because maybe they're reaching out and they just want to know more about our services. So we'll say, all right, add the tag prospect, save action. And then from there, we're going to say wait again. And this time, we're going to change it to, let's say, 2 days. And what I'm doing here is saying, okay, from a realistic standpoint, perhaps they get the email, hey, we're going to follow up with you, you know, regarding such and such, and maybe it's not 2 days, but, you know, you're waiting to essentially send another email perhaps from here, or you could even be setting yourself a reminder. So wait 2 days, click this. Now let's say reminder. Oh, nothing there. All right, how about task? Ah, there we go. So we'll hit add task, and now you can assign yourself a task. Call this client. Call them. And so, okay, now who do we assign it to? Well, we're going to assign it to yourself. When is it due? Let's say it's due in 2 days from there. And then, you know, we'll go with that. You can obviously set this to whatever you want. And then after that, you could really call it good. I mean, you can make this as complicated as you want, but in this test, we have a form that's submitted. It waits a couple seconds. It sends an email to the client. It then adds a tag. It waits a while, creates a task, and then we have the opportunity to essentially work on that task after we receive that. So let's go ahead and hit save. Now, right now, we're in draft mode. So that means if I try to use this form, it's not going to use this. We'd have to publish it first. So now we'll save it as published. Okay, and now let's do a quick test here. So I have the form right here, first name, last name, phone. So I'm gonna just put in Chad form test, and I'm just gonna put in a fake number here. For the email, we'll put in Chad plus testing at realtourvision.com. Please call later. Okay, we're all set. Let's go ahead and hit send. So, all right, they get this little pop-up here per our form. Let's head back over here. Now, if I refresh this page, we're going to see something. Now what you see is this. There's a little placeholder for the action. Oh, there it is. It's tracking it. It's showing you in the steps where this individual is at. And it's already at the wait 2 days step. So it's already gone through, done all of this, and now it's waiting 2 days. And so this is useful for if you send out, let's say, even a mass email, it'll tell you where those users are at in your process as well. So very, very useful. You can always come back to this automation, check this. You can check your enrollment history, your execution logs, and so on. So now let's go ahead and switch over to the contacts to see where that tag was added, and then we'll check the email as well. All right, so here I am in the contact. It was automatically created. You can see the activity right here. Visit the page, form submitted, contact created, and then right there we can see the tag prospect that automatically got added. So let's check out that email. Okay, and I received that email. Here it is. And as we scroll down, you can just see that that was the template I chose. That's really, there is to it. Now, if you wanted to set up custom templates, as you saw, I selected one, you can go to marketing, emails, templates, and then right here, here's the template I created. And you can create new ones just by clicking here, either using some pre-existing ones in the system, or we have a whole bunch of them right here that you can browse through that are custom made and branded for Blue Lava. So you can go ahead and modify those to your liking as well. Now to set up a form, go to sites, and then right along the top here, there's forms. And then I used this contact us form right here. So you can create new forms right here. You can embed them into your web pages and go from there. But that is essentially how you create an automation. Again, it will save you a lot of time, so I highly advise giving it a shot. Thank you for watching.